Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Putri. I'm from local E2 with my NPM 2040601017. So in this video, I will talk about uh, wild and isolated children and critical age issue in language learning. So so far I know, isolated children, or we call it feral child, is a human child who has lived isolated for far from human contact, and it's a very from a young age and has no or small experience communication of human care like loving and social behavior, and yes, crucially of human language. And some feral children have been confined in isolation by other people, usually their own parents, and in some case, these children is abandoned was due to the parent who rejecting a child's severe intellectual or physical impairment. And feral children uh, may have experienced severe child abuse or trauma, being abandoned or running away, and uh, they are lack the basic social skills that are normally learned in the process of enculturation, or the process of by which an individual adopts the behavior patterns of the culture in which he or she is immersed. And they almost always have impaired language ability and mental function. And these impairments highlight is the role of socialization in human development, and the impair of ability is to learn language after having been isolated for so many years is often attributed to the uh, existence of a critical period for language learning, and it's taken as in evidence in favor of the critical period hypothesis. And I think uh, it is theorized that if language is not developed, at least to a degree, during this critical period, a child can never reach his or her full language potential. And the fact that feral children lack these abilities is the role of socialization in human development. And for example, it's from tragic history in the case of Jenny. uh, Jenny was deprived only of and not only of language input but also of short of love or normal parental care, and she also had many other developmental delays. She lacked the true grammar, but all this, all this, mm, all this uh, examples show us that full language development may require language input, and it is also possibly requires human interaction and the development of other cognitive ability like a healthy diet and maybe the others. And I think it's yes important to note that all these children found it hard to integrate into society, and it is easy to understand. Yeah, we know why it's happened, because theirs is a critical age in which human language and interaction are developed, and after that it it becomes much harder to develop these skills past the age which is puberty, and it it one has not learned to talk in a certain language past it properly, then it will be made more, what we call it be more difficult for that individual to acquire language, and almost impossible to being a master of it. And I think that's all from me by my topic, wild and isolated children and critical age issue in language learning. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.